Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Rich Guzman.
Hi guys, I'm Anastasia Halls, better known as Coach Ace.
And welcome to Ace and Rich Freedom by Design. You know what? It's your daily dose of marketing education that we can inspire you to pretty much dominate the internet. Right? Come on now. Now, the reason why I said that is because we actually have been seeing a lot of great results from our students, and we're so excited. So before we really get started into the content today, I want to say hello to who's on here on the live with us on Facebook and YouTube. So let me have it over here. David, Toomey, what's happening? Diane Robin. Yes, you guys can hear us. Awesome. Mandy, you've been missing us all day, huh? Okay, cool.
She got to get her daily
Teresa,
dose of
what's
Ace
up?
and Rich. That's why.
So people are hopping on right now. If you guys want to share the love, get it out there. Let the whole the world know that we are on Personal Development Day.
I actually shared it on my personal timeline.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So hey, family.
Yes, I am in a fantastic mood today. Why? Because we've been working out for about 3 weeks now, right?
Oh yeah, it was a great workout. Great workout.
And today we had a great workout today. And we had some chicken, some greens afterwards. Well, kind of like chicken breast with greens. What was it? Spinach, mixed greens. Edamame beans. What else? Blueberries.
Blueberries.
Yep, and
carrots.
we had really healthy organic carrots shredded.
Lots of mixed seeds.
A lot of mixed pumpkin seeds.
All that protein goodness.
And there's more. There's more. Arugula.
I missed it. I was jonesing.
Arugula.
I missed it so much.
Yeah, arugula.
Yeah.
We had arugula in there.
Yeah.
The kale was more the dino kale, all cut up and shredded. Really good stuff. Pretty much like a green goddess salad, man. You pretty much can say it, right?
Yeah.
So we feel really, really good today. After a great workout, great meal. And now it's time to talk with you guys. So really happy and excited about that. So today, of course, it's going to be about Jim Rohn, as you can see.
And you guys are going to learn a lot today because what we're going to share with you about Jim Rohn, I know you guys are really excited for this because we've been talking about this for a while. We follow these kind of guys. These guys are like our mentors. They're like the godfathers of personal development. And I'm really excited to share this on a Monday with you guys.
Yes, definitely. And guys, just to let you know, Jim Rohn is really like the godfather of marketing in itself. Okay?
Yes, absolutely.
And what I forgot to do is actually update the...
Oh, you did?
Shame on me.
Come on, Rich. Get with the program.
Yeah, come on. What's going on here?
Well, I tell you that Jim Rohn is the godfather of marketing, especially the network marketing industry. That's where everybody knows his name. And if you don't know his name, then you've been living under a rock.
Yeah,
okay?
And if you refresh your page on Facebook, you'll see that I updated the actual title. Okay. So Jim Rohn, what we learned about Jim, and we're going to talk about famous words that Jim actually spoke about that really inspired us through the most tough times that we dealt with in our marketing journey. Before we've had success, before we were able to fire our bosses, before we had this great freedom lifestyle, before we were able to travel, speak on stage, all that kind of fun stuff. It wasn't always like this at all.
It wasn't. No.
At all.
Yeah.
I mean, it was it was definitely a journey, and being homeless, living in a motel, Motel 6 to be exact, and working my job at Best Buy only part-time, and then I asked for full-time, but I didn't get it right away. I had to have something to inspire me through the journey, and I kept really working on my mindset, kept investing in my intellectual capital. I kept listening to the greats and how do they think, and it really helped me really like on the way to work, on the way back from work. So I turned my Jeep into, before I got the Camaro, I had a Jeep Wrangler, and I drove that to work. But on the way to work and on the way back home, I can tell you that, I listened to Jim Rohn a lot. And those words were like a grandfather speaking to me and just giving me advice and guiding me through the hardest and tough times that I was dealing with.
Well, you actually introduced me to Jim Rohn, and I'd never done personal development ever. Like, I've been in the network marketing industry since I was 17 years old, and the only guy that I knew in personal development was Les Brown. I never knew Jim Rohn until you put like 12 pillars of success in front of me.
Oh God, I shared Jim Rohn with you, Bob Proctor, and the list goes on and on.
Lots of mentors you introduced me to, and I'm really, really grateful for that because there's a lot of insight and inspiration and mindset training that those guys know and can pass down to generations.
And here's the thing, guys. when you hear something from like someone like Jim Rohn, for example, sometimes it doesn't really sink in right away. Like you'll get the message, but you really won't get the message. But the more that you listen to it and you repeat it over and over and over again, and that's what I did. Like I just ingested it like daily, and it really helped me understand more about philosophy. It helped me understand more about like my mindset.
Life and business, and
business.
How to create success.
Yeah, it's definitely. So let's go over, some things some famous lines that I wrote down here. That's really amazing. That reminds me a lot when I was listening to him through the toughest times of my journey, when nothing was working, when things were really really rough, and then we got our first apartment, which is really really cool. So yeah, let's listen to it. So the first thing I want to talk about is one of the things he said was discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Okay, to be in business we must be disciplined. Discipline is very very important. But to me the word discipline, when people hear that, they think of negativity. They think like, oh my God, I can be like disciplined, like military style. Oh my God, it's crazy.
So true.
The reality is not. I mean, other people like to call it success rituals, so you can call it success rituals. So when you look at it that way, it's more like, oh, I'm creating a ritual for myself. Cool. And that will help you create success because you start creating rituals that work in your business. Okay? So discipline is the biggest, the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And I know you got something to say too, Eros. So now here's one that's my favorite, and you guys might have heard this one before. Okay, I'm gonna grab him. So you might have heard this before, and this is amazing. Okay, either you run the day, or the day runs you. Okay, either you run the day, or the day runs you. Now this is very easy to happen. Like, in other words, if you don't take control of your day, it's very easy for the day to just completely just go by and nothing gets done, nothing gets accomplished, and you're like, oh my God, like I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And then you try to make excuses for yourself, be like, oh, well, tomorrow will be better, whatever. But you got to start thinking about like what matters is today, okay? Mm-hmm, so you got to, like, today is the day that should count. Not tomorrow, today.
Like right now.
Yeah, like right now. Because if you think about it, if you don't ever start right now, when will you start? You'll keep putting it off for the following day, the next day, the next day, and the next day. Like, case in point, we have students, we've been coaching, we've been mentoring, and they've been taking action, and they're doing it now. They're not doing it like tomorrow. They're generating leads now.
Well,
and they're making sales now.
They've been putting that off for so long, and the procrastination has held them back. And now, because they took advantage of the timing is now, and they realize that doing it their way is not really helping out or panning out, they learn how to do it the Ace and Rich way, and they're doing it now.
I'm excited for them too, by the way.
Yes.
Now, here's an important one, and this is why we've been working out and exercising. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Okay? Like for me, sometimes I screw up, I eat bad food, but 90% of the time, I'm always eating really healthy, good food. I'm like a greenaholic, okay? And it's kind of weird because when I was a kid, I freaking hated greens, but now I love them, right? I have, like I said, I've ate pumpkin seeds, spinach, kale, spring mixes, arugula, and the list goes on and on. Garbanzo beans, wraps with garbanzo beans. Things that are very healthy in nature to eat. Whole grain rice, quinoa, things like that that's really good and wholesome for your body. And when you eat it, you can tell the difference on how your body feels. It feels natural. It doesn't feel weighted down. It doesn't feel like you ate something you feel like, right? You feel more alive. You feel great. You feel clear. You feel assertive. You feel ready for the world when you eat healthy. And also when you exercise. And exercise is not easy by any, short imagination. Because let me tell you something. We struggle with it, but we've been sticking with it. We're on 3 weeks right now with working out consistently every single week. And it definitely shows, and it's definitely paying off. Our attitudes, our energy levels, our clarity and things like that. One thing is the slightest change that you can take can really help you take your life and your business to the next level. And taking care of your body and eating the right foods, I think is the first step to success.
Not only that, but I want to add also, Rich, is the fact of the matter is, why would Jim Rohn ask you or even tell you to take care of your body? Well, if you think about it, if you look through it a different lens, how are you supposed to enjoy the fruits of your labor and your success if you're too sick to enjoy it? I had a conversation with somebody the other day who said that they were in the carrot bars business, and they said that they want to focus on that, but their health is deteriorating. It's not good, and that's a problem because so you've got all of this stuff that you got going on. You got a business, you're trying to pay your bills, you're trying to live your life, take care of your kids, but you're running yourself rampant until you run down and you're not taking care of yourself.
Yes.
So what happens with all the fruits of your labor? It goes to waste, and you won't be able to live long enough to enjoy it. So this is why Jim Rohn focused on health and wellness, because he said you got to live long enough to enjoy it, and you got to give enough time so you can teach someone else to pass the legacy on to someone to carry the baton when you are gone. So think about that.
Absolutely. This is so true. Hey, Mom, how you doing? She's on the live. Love to see you, Mom. So the next thing is never wish life was easier. Okay? Wish that you were better. Never wish. That's none of them are like all of them are my favorites, but I mean I really love this one too. Never wish life was easier. Wish that you were better. Now I want to elaborate on this one a little bit because everybody complains about not getting results in their business. And let's talk about that for a second. Understand that if this was easy, what we do, everyone would do it. Everyone would do it.
Of course.
Okay? It's not easy. It's different.
And it's not for everybody.
And those are my words.
Yeah.
It's not hard, it's just different. Okay?
Right.
But it's not easy. It's not easy. Because you're coming into something that's unfamiliar. Anything that you come into that's unfamiliar will never, ever, ever be easy. Even if you're going to college, taking up a new course, or any thing that you're learning that's brand new, it's never going to be easy. So why should this be any different? But by you sticking with it and being disciplined and being consistent, and you're learning and you're growing, and more importantly, you're not just learning and growing, you're actually taking action on what we're teaching, okay? And that will move you forward, and that will help you get results. And that's when you become better. Because it's not about what you're getting now, and even if you're getting results, it's not about that. It's about the memory of when you first started, who the person you are becoming in the present moment, okay? So remember that. Wish that you were better, because if you're better, of course you're going to get more results. Of course you're going to have success. Of course things are going to seem more effortless. But you have to go through that journey. So never wish that it's going to be easy, because it's not. So I'm going to have you say this one, because I know this you really got, you really are about this. So I'm going to leave that one up to you.
Okay. So the other thing that Jim Rohn talked about, and guys, give me some likes, some hearts, and engagement. Thank you so much. Is he talked about if you are not willing to risk the unusual, you are willing to settle for the ordinary. Now let's think about this for a minute, because if you're not willing to risk the unusual, the things that we do in this industry, the things that we do in our business, okay, because we're online business, what happens is everybody does what everybody does. And the thing is, nothing is unusual about it. But when you start to do things your way, and you're following a mentor that's guiding you and directing you in a different path, and it seems to be unusual compared to what you're used to in the past, and you start to see results, there's your extraordinary coming out of you. But if you just settle, like, I'm just going to get by, let me get by the end of the week, let me just settle for these ordinary results, then you're just going to always be ordinary. And this is what we mean by we're above average. We're not your average typical marketer. We're not average, we're not typical, and we certainly don't settle for ordinary. We actually go and strive higher to be extraordinary. Are you getting this?
Yes.
Okay? So if you're not willing to risk the unusual, you will have to settle for the ordinary. Remember that.
Yeah. Now here's the thing that I want to talk about this, because one of the things Jim Rohn said is something about education, okay? And I have a gripe about American education, all right? And the reason why I have a gripe about it is because most people are barely getting by and they're not being taught to flourish. And let me just elaborate a little bit deeper on this because I want you to really get this, okay? We are in a society that education teaches you specifically, okay, how to make a living. That's it. And there's a problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a problem with that. We don't want to make a living. We want to live an extraordinary life. That's a different way of thinking. Okay? We want to live an extraordinary life. We don't just want to making a living is just like going at a job and having money, barely paying your bills, and really only maybe having a vacation once a year, and you can't call the shots, and you have to really be dictated by someone else's future. What about your future?
Right.
So I love it when Jim said, he said, formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. Let me go a little deeper into that one. So the more that you learn, the more that you grow, the more that you take action on what you're learning, the more you're going to become. Now, a formal education has a ceiling. It only goes up to 12th grade in high school. And that's done. There's no more. And then there's college. And then when you take up something, there's only so much you can take up to earn $50,000 a year, and you spend $50,000 on your education.
Yeah.
Okay, think about that for a second. The system is completely backwards. It is. But luckily, people are waking up, and I'm seeing more independent schools are coming up now, and they're teaching kids from a young age to dream again.
Yes.
To believe what's possible, no matter how young they are. If they think that they can become something at 6 years old or 7 years old, why do we stop them? Why do we say, no, you go over here, go to the structured brick and mortar school and learn exactly what the government wants you to learn? No, now things are changing. Schools like Mind Valley, for example, there's parents that are bringing kids on this education and they're teaching them to flourish as a young child. Okay? So self-education can literally make you a fortune. Now, you guys know my story, and if you don't, if you were in Reno, I think my high school was 10th grade, and I dropped out. I never liked school. I hated it with a passion.
Rebel.
I was a rebel.
He was a rebel.
So I quit. Now, how could someone quit high school and done over multiple six figures, my third six-figure income I'm going on now, right? I'm on my way to $500,000. Pretty soon I'll be hitting $1 million. How could someone literally drop out of high school and crush it as an entrepreneur? Because I learned a long time ago through my education, my self-education of what I paid for to go to West Palm Beach to talk to a millionaire, and go to California and spend 3 days with my coach, Jeffrey Combs, who has a CD with Jim Rohn together, okay? Those guys were close, right? So my coach taught me the same thing. He taught me it's not about your education. It's about your passion. How passionate are you to learn what you want to achieve? Learn what you, not to learn, learn to what you want to achieve. And you do that by taking action on what you're learning. So the self-education, I like spending a little time on this one because, guys, this is gold. Start teaching yourself education. We are in an age right now that you can go online and learn pretty much anything you want.
Yeah.
How to work out.
It's at your fingertips.
How to work out.
Mm-hmm.
How to what? How to cook. How to be a vegan. How to be a vegetarian. There's a difference. How to do the keto diet. There's so much type of, how to be a marketer. How to be a network marketer. How to be an affiliate marketer. How to sell e-com. How to sell on eBay.
How to trade.
Arbitrage. How to trade.
How to invest.
How to invest. How to manage your money.
Yes.
The education goes on and on and on and on and on. It's up to you how far you want to go to become a better you. And isn't that amazing, guys? That in this age, most people take it for granted. I don't, because I realize the potential. I realize the big picture. I know that if I want to learn anything, I can learn it. I don't need school to tell me how to make money. Because that's the school, what it did was keep me broke. It did.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I went back to a trade school and I learned auto mechanics. The first thing I wanted to learn was, carpentry. But they were all full up, so I couldn't do that. I had to do auto mechanics. So I learned auto mechanics and I learned on site how, fix cars, tune-ups, oil change, all that kind of stuff, right? And brakes. And what I realized is that's good and it gets you a job, it gets you a trade, but it doesn't give you a life. It doesn't give you a life. What gives you a life when you stop and you think about self-educating yourself. And where do you start? You start with buying Jim Rohn courses and learning his philosophy, because then his philosophy becomes your philosophy. And
go.
Once your philosophy is here, from what you learn from his philosophy, that's when you become a self-educated entrepreneur. Move on to the next one. If you are not willing to risk...
I already went through that.
Oh, okay. Motivation is...
I know you're on a roll, but I'm going to take over.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so the next one is happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Now, this is so important because Jim Rohn always believed in being happy right now. Act as if you got it. You are successful. Have it right now and be happy with what you have. Don't settle, but be happy with what you have. And that shows gratitude in the moment.
Yes.
Okay? Because if you postpone it for a future, I can't tell you how many times I've coached a student and they've told me, well, I'm not happy until I start seeing results. Are you kidding me? You need to be happy now about the process and fall in love with it and be in love with the process until you get the result. There's no way you're going to be happy until you get the sale because you don't even know what it was like to go through the agony, the pressure, the struggle, the stress, the sacrifice, and then when the result comes, you won't appreciate it.
That's true. That's so true.
Because I'll tell you from my own personal experience, what me and Rich went through, all the people that was against us, all the people that told us we couldn't do it, all the haters and everybody was like rooting for us to fail, okay? I wasn't paying them no mind. I was focusing on me. I was focused on what had to be done. And I was happy during the process. Mind you, I sacrificed. I struggled. I went through pain. I went through challenges. I went through a maturing growth period, okay? Because a lot of us are immature in this industry. We got a lot of growing up to do. And what happened? I transitioned. I grew and transformed into the leader that I am today. So when I say, was I happy during the process? You bet your ass I was, because when I got to success, boy, did I freaking was happy about that. I was on stage and it became like official.
Excited.
It was more like in the veins, in my bones, in my feeling. And I was just looking in the audience in Reno like, wow, I'm standing up here. I waited for this moment all my life. And here I am looking at each and every one of these people and I see potential, 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 potential. So when I tell you, okay, don't postpone it for the future because it ain't coming. You got to do it now. You got to be happy right now.
Yeah, future is now.
Yes, it is.
I want you to say this one because you always tell me this and it's so funny.
Which one? Oh, okay. Okay, the next one, guys. If you don't like how things are, change it. You are not a tree. Can't tell you how many times people complain, bitch, moan, just literally just complaining so much about how bad things are. And all I do is I go, what are you doing about it? Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. Well, yes, you do. If you have the shovel and you bared that shovel to dig a hole as deep as you needed to deep to get yourself in that problem, in that circumstance, in that situation, damn it, you still holding the shovel, you can get yourself out.
It's a mental prison. It is. It's a mental prison.
It is an absolute mental prison.
Yeah, it's a mental prison.
So if you don't like how things are, you don't like your zip code, change it. You're not a tree. Okay? If you don't like how your situation is right now, if you don't like the clothes that you wear, if you don't like the environment that you're in, move.
Yeah.
Move. Change it. Change the situation. Me and Rich are thinking about being digital nomads because here's the thing. We can't figure out if we want to stay in a house for 20, 30, 40, 50 years of our lives, or just move around the country and go into different, different parts of the world and live there for like a year and a half and then switch up and go somewhere else. We can do that. That's what creating a freedom by design is all about, is you have your life in control. You control and you can design your life the way you want it.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to stay where you are, no matter how old you are, and don't use that as an excuse because I ain't got it. Okay? So that's what I wanted to tell you guys. You don't like where you are, you can change it. The other thing is, we must all suffer one of two things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Yeah. Because you are going to end up in disappointment central. Like, you're literally going to be disappointed. Either or is going to happen. There's going to be some pain. I call them growing pains. Okay? As you go through this journey, this new embarkment, this new journey, this new path, however you want to call it. Okay? You're pulling away from a traditional sector. A differential, programming that you've been taught since childhood. And what happens is, now that you see where the economy is going, the digital economy is changing, you have to learn certain skill sets to learn technology. It's going to be painful. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be painful to learn a new skill set. But you know what's worse? Putting it off till later and procrastinating, because then you're going to live with regret. I can't tell you how many times Rich and I has helped a student go from totally green to making sales online in their current journey, in their business, whether they're locked arms with us in our programs or they bought something from us, okay? It doesn't matter. The thing is, it's more painful for them to keep pressing on and saying, I'll do it later. But if they learn, if they put aside their ego,
tomorrow never comes.
Tomorrow will never come.
Yeah.
You've got to learn how to do things now, or you will regret it. You will regret it.
Yeah. It's back to that mental prison thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like shackles stuck in your mind.
It is.
And you got to break free from that. You do. And it's hard. I'm not going to say it's not easy. I think the hardest part of really, doing this business is, breaking the mental shackles that's going on upside of your head.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing. And this is why it's important to study personal development. People like Jim Rohn as well. And that's why I want to talk about Jim Rohn, because he was a big part of my journey, and and part of my coach's journey as well. And my coach is already a multi-millionaire. He's very successful, and he learned from Jim Rohn.
So don't be afraid of being disciplined, creating success habits along the way, because it's all part of the process, and you have to trust the process. If not, you're going to regret not learning the process and learning these actual skills that are really going to pay off in the long run and in the end.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So guys, did you enjoy that today or what? Jim Rohn is awesome, guys. I mean, I would just go on YouTube later on today and just literally watch some of the videos of him speaking. And they would just blow your mind. If you never watched them ever, oh my God.
They're very in-depth.
Yeah.
They're very, very good. Yes. I like when he also says, I'm an amateur on the Bible, but I love quoting it because it's great for business and life. So he knows that, he's not like, a holy roller, and, he literally just holds the Bible in his hand and he reads the Bible like text cover to cover.
Yep.
He only picks out the points that really can apply a lesson, that can apply to entrepreneurism, and that's what I like about him.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So guys, do you have any questions on anything about personal development and things like that? What are you struggling with in your mind? You know what I mean? What things are, you feel that, within yourself that's holding you back from the next level? Okay, this is why we do this every Monday, because we want to really break that mental shackle in your mind and your brain, to break free from the old way of thinking and unlearn all the old BS that really holds 99% of people back. So.
Yep. So Freedom Warriors, you guys are on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and post your cue in the chat. We'll go ahead and take a look over there. And also you guys on Facebook, Freedom by Design's fan page. Go ahead and post your cue right there on the live. And we'll go ahead and answer some of your questions.
Yeah, definitely. And smash that likes button.
Norma Jean says, Jim Rohn is great. He has been one of my favorite speakers. Very good, Norma Jean. I'm glad that you are following someone like that because it really is beneficial to your success.
Yeah, and Ida says here on Facebook, he was an amazing. He was an amazing time. I also follow him. Yeah, absolutely. And Ida's been getting results and everything.
Ida's
you know
been
what I
getting
mean?
results. Yes.
So keep studying. Don't just because you studied them before doesn't mean you shouldn't keep studying him. Right? Keep going, guys. Keep going. Okay? Very important. Like I always go back and reflect, and I never stop listening. Yes. I rotate to my mentors, and I just keep listening, keep listening, because your journey it doesn't end. Your journey will go on for the rest of your life.
Yes. Mark Gibbons says, "No pain, no gain." Exactly. You gotta go through the pain. Hey, I was doing my reps today, and let me tell you, it was burning my arms, and I had to push through, and I was just like,
you should have heard me. I was yelling. I was here getting the live ready the notes, and all of a sudden I go over there. I'm over here, and I'm yelling, and I'm like, "Come on, wake up that lazy bones! Come on, wake up that lazy body! Tell him that body who's boss."
Yeah, it's true, man.
Because you have to really push yourself, because your body by default wants to make you lazy. Your mindset, never mind about the working out physical part, but also the mental part, wants to make you lazy. It doesn't want you to grow. It's designed by default to stay comfortable for survival.
Yes.
Okay? Yes. So understand that.
I like what David Toomey says. He says on the Facebook chat, "I recommend a base of operations, but travel. It's a big world out there." Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There is a lot to see. It's not just your backyard. I used to think that. I'm from T-Town, so I know. And I was just like, is this it? I mean, there's got to be another big world out there.
Oh, God.
And then when I got on a plane and went to Hawaii for the first time, and then I was just like, I'm coming back again. I'm going to go back again. And the more opportunities I get to go and travel, I'm taking them. I'm not wasting that moment.
From what I know, we're supposed to go back this year. That's what I heard.
Ooh, yes.
So, I
can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I mean, 2019.
19. Yeah, because we got to do a lot of bit of traveling in 2019.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, scroll down over there. Where? Hello, Lamar. Good to see you.
Wait. Okay. Here we go. Let's go here. Mandy Priano says, "Creating healthy habits and developing disciplines is hard for me.
Okay.
But I am doing it, and it has been amazing." Isn't it funny? The most the most uncomfortable thing actually is better for you.
Yeah.
It's all counterintuitive of what we think.
It's the process,
so,
Mandy.
Creating healthy habits is hard for you. I get it. Yeah. Okay, so what you should do if that's a challenge for you, don't try to change, because most people try to change everything at once. Try one small change. Mm-hmm. Let me give you an example. Get yourself a Ninja blender, right? And start making some smoothies or some juicing in the morning, right? Every day for a while, and see how you feel. Don't do a juice and a smoothie and then go try to work out and then try to do this and do that. Yeah. That's not the way to do it. No. One tiny small change is all that matters. And then when you get that one down, add another tiny small change. Okay?
This is interesting. Ida Janowski says, "I am struggling with the lack of how to do certain things, so I stop."
Well, that's the thing. We must not stop. If you've done it before, and you're taking action on it, and then you stop, why would you stop? Why don't you continue going? Because the more consistent you are doing it, the more you're going to start learning about it, and you're not going to want to stop because you're going to figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah. And what I would say is, if it's certain things that you're not familiar with, or you have no clue of how to go, Google it. Mm-hmm. Really, you got to be self-sufficient. You got to not stop. You got to keep persevering and finding the answer. Google was put on this planet for a reason, right? It was invented for a reason.
It's amazing.
So all that great content is out there, Ida. And you know what? You just need to move yourself forward. Go Google it. Go on YouTube. Find it. Find the answer.
Yes.
Or at least, ask somebody in your community that you are big and influence in, and ask your members, ask your fellow peers, find out how to figure something out, because there's a lot of people who have more experience than you that can share something that can help you push you forward. I know so many people in the industry that all have more skill sets than me, more skill sets than Rich, and we know more than them. Okay? So it's like we can mastermind, we can figure it out. There's no need to stop. You just have to learn to ask. That's all.
Yep. Ask and it is given.
Yes. Yes.
Abraham Hicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see.
Tracy Lee.
Question: will there be anyone that comes close to Jim Rohn? You know,
Dale.
there's a lot of really
I
great
could think of some.
personal development speakers, but Jim Rohn is one of a kind, let me tell you. But if I was looking at another speaker, I would look at Bob Proctor.
Bob Proctor. Yeah, I was like Bob.
Bob Proctor.
Bob Proctor. Yeah.
I love Bob Proctor.
Yes.
And we're going to be doing Bob Proctor next week, so stay tuned.
Yes, Bob Proctor is amazing. Yes. He would come close to Jim Rohn.
Yep. Oh, man, I can't wait to dive into Bob Proctor next week. Next Monday.
Yeah. Lamar said Zig Ziglar.
Zig Ziglar's really good, yep.
Yes.
You know, one of his famous quotes that really stuck out more than anything was, you know, if you help enough people get what they want, then you can get what you want, right? And it's so true. And isn't that a beautiful way to really build a business, guys? Isn't it great to really, the more that you help people, the more you get rewarded? What would the world be like if that's the way it was ran? Can you just imagine for a second what would the world be like? Unfortunately, the world's not that way.
No.
But the beautiful thing about this industry is we create our own world, right?
Yes.
So when you actually, you know, help people, help them grow, right? Guide them along the right path. You lay your head at night, you feel good about what you're doing.
You do.
And you get more rewarded,
Yes.
thus giving you more freedom.
And
It makes sense, doesn't it?
You start understanding what your purpose is
Oh,
when it comes
it's a
to
great
being
purpose.
involved in this, because a lot of people come in this for the money, but then when you realize it goes beyond that. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than you.
that.
It's
Yep.
bigger than everything. Like
Yeah.
Mark Gibbons said, this is exactly my point. He says, in the past, I struggled with getting out of my own way. Now that I'm working with Ace and Rich, I can break the barriers and I can see them coming down.
Yeah. By the way, we looked at your soap opera series, and
I sent him the notes. He knows what he's got to do. He's got homework.
so
Homework on top of homework that needs to get done. So
Yep.
he's got 2 days to go.
it's looking
Yeah.
looking good. It's looking good. It's coming together, and you're getting there step by step.
Yes.
All right.
Any other
So-
questions before we go? I see it down. You can scroll down.
Let's see any more.
Oh, there we go. Yay, Bob.
So great to be working with caring and humble mentors. Yes, absolutely. It's our pleasure.
Our
It's our pleasure.
pleasure. Yes.
Let's see.
Any other cues?
Tracy Lee. Yeah, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, next week, man. I'll be talking about Bob Proctor. Good stuff, right?
Yep.
We love Bob Proctor.
I like what he teaches. He's good.
All right. So let's see. Anything else? If not, we will call this live a wrap.
I know. We got to do another one, and it's for the company, so it's at 9.
All right, guys. So, well, that's right. Today's Monday.
Inner Circle.
Oh, usually I've been going to bed at 9. I can go to bed at 9 tonight.
Your bedtime is at 10.
Tonight, my bed is at 10. Gotta be disciplined, guys. See?
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes doesn't always work that
If
way.
not, I have to hold him accountable for it.
Timer done. There we go. All right, guys.
Done?
It is time.
Okay, that's our time, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here on the live, and be sure to tune in again tomorrow, same time, same bat channel. All right, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be talking about something completely different tomorrow, of course.
Absolutely.
Yep, and if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to smash the likes button and hit the subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss a beat when Ace and Rich are live on our YouTube channel. And once you subscribe, you're automatically an official Freedom Warrior, so you don't miss out all of the great tips, trainings, and insights that we have to share here about what?
Affiliate marketing.
Affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
All right,
Tomorrow.
guys. Thank you so much.
Love you guys. Appreciate you.
Love
you guys
y'all.
have a great, great evening, day, afternoon, morning, wherever you come in from around the world. And take care, guys.
Bye.